Hello, and welcome to this video on copying prior year filers and recipients to the current filing year. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate to you two different approaches to copying information that you previously entered within the eFileMagick application to the current filing year. Both of these approaches that I'm going to demonstrate can help save significant time in re-entering filer and recipient information if the information for your organization does not change substantially from year to year. Now that I'm on the dashboard, which is a screen that I see right after I log in, I'm going to demonstrate the first approach. The distinction between the two approaches depends on whether or not I want to copy all of the information that I entered previously, that is to say all of the filers and all of the recipients forward to the current year at the same time. If, for instance, you only wanted to copy forward one or two filers out of a list of filers that you filed with us last year, hang on tight and I'll show you how to do that in a few minutes. Okay, so once again from the dashboard screen, we're going to scroll down to where it says copy prior operating year filers forward, and I'm going to click on this button. It's going to ask you to confirm whether or not you want to complete this operation, so go ahead and select yes. And once it's copied your filers and recipients forward, it's going to pop up a dialog that says, hey, I've gone ahead and done that. You can close that here. You'll notice in the released, unreleased by filer grid here, I now have a new filer that's been listed. Within the demonstration data that I'm working with, I only have a single filer from the prior operating year. So it copied forward just the single filer. If I had many, it would have copied all of them over. I can jump directly into this filer and check out its recipients by selecting the filer here and then clicking yes. And you'll notice that my recipient has been copied forward along with the associated test filer that I copied from the prior filing year. At this point, you'll notice that the recipient's currently in an invalid state. That's because when the copy forward process occurs, we copy all of the recipient data forward regarding name, tax ID, address, and so forth, but we clear out any of the form detail elements. That's because from year to year that information is expected to change. So if I wanted to proceed with filing this particular recipient, I could click on edit and say alter the non-employee compensation amount, click on save, and you'll notice that the validation error has now been removed, and this recipient for all intents and purposes is ready for tax ID verification matching and or releasing for processing within the eFileMagick system. Now, let's talk a little bit about the second approach. Now, this is the approach that you would take if you only had one or two or three filers out of a list of many filers that you want to copy forward along with their associated recipients. So to demonstrate that, I'm going to go ahead and select two filers and go down to 1098, 1099 filers. I'm going to click on the Show Archive Filers button. So every year, prior to launch, we roll over the current year data into our archival system. So when you select Show Archive Filers, it's going to show you a list of any prior year archived filers. In this case, you'll notice there's some 2022 archived or a 2022 archived filer here. I can select this filer, and if I had additional filers in my list, I could select any one of them. And then I can go down and select copy recipients to current filing year. And this is only going to copy that filer and its associated recipients forward. Again, if I had many of them in this list, when I click this button, it's only going to copy the selected filer and its associated recipients forward. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate that. Again, it's going to confirm that you want to copy the filer and recipients forward. So I'm going to go ahead and select yes. And now at this point, it's moved me back into the current year. I'm no longer on the archived filer list. And now I have a total of three filers. The initial filer that I had in here, the filer that I copied forward when I was on the dashboard, and I copied all filers forward, and the filer that I just copied forward individually. Again, I can navigate to three manage recipients. The recipients are going to be in an invalid state. I could modify the detail and continue to utilize the other services that eFileMagick provides and or release the recipient form for processing. Okay, this concludes the video on copying prior year filers and recipients to the current filing year.